Hey, how are you? I finally found the mute button. All right. Hey, this is Role Play Practice Party Wednesday. It is April the 12th, 2023, and we are the Guts and the Shut Up Money and the Brandon Simmons. I don't know what I don't know what Brandon Simmons calls his group. Does he have a witty uh name for his group? That's a good question. I really wish I did know the answer to that. Like because Uncle Claude is he's not really my uncle, but I call him Uncle Claude. I don't know why I got started on that and it just stuck. So um yeah, he calls his guts, right? And then I call my group Shut Up Money, the Shut Up Money Club. I wonder what Brandon Simmons calls his. This is a group. All three of us combine on Wednesdays to do role plays, and hopefully, there's folks that take advantage of it. We do a rotation. I am the second Wednesday of the month. So you can see Uncle Claude is the first Wednesday of the month, and Brandon's the third, and then the fourth is a mystery. The fourth is a mystery. We have Perez Bryant here with us right now. How are you, sir?
I'm all right. How you doing today?
I'm not doing bad. I'm ready to role play. If you are, you want to role play something today, man?
Yeah, we can. We can get one in.
That's
You still
great.
have the house available? The house still available?
Yes, it is. It's on Zillow, so it's still available. Yep.
Okay, I was looking at it on Zillow. You mind if I ask you a couple questions? See, can we do some business today?
That sounds good to me.
Okay, then.
What can I do to help you? What do you need to know?
Well, I was trying to see why is this having sold? Why is it still on the market?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I wish I knew. I mean, are you interested in buying it or what, man? I mean,
Yeah, I'm
are you
interested
or
in
maybe
buying it.
are you a realtor? Because
No,
I mean,
actually, I'm a real estate problem solver, and I'm looking to maybe I have a solution for the problem you have. I see you trying to sell it. Hey, if you don't mind me asking, what's your asking price?
the asking price is right there on Zillow, man. 289.
289. Okay,
Yeah,
that's below market or above market.
man, that's right at that's what we think it's worth. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, would you be willing to do some kind of term written on for it?
Huh. I thought you were gonna lowball me when I heard you were an investor, but now you got me thinking. So maybe creative or terms. I mean, well, I don't. I haven't thought about it, but maybe what do you have in mind?
I don't know. I was just trying to see if you were willing to do some kind of terms. I was trying to see what would you like to have down or what would you like a month?
I
Just to try to get
see.
you your total asking price.
Okay. Well, we'd really prefer cash if we could get it, but I mean, I might be interested in something like a short term, like I don't know if the buyer was right and everything, we might be okay with doing like a 12-month lease purchase or something.
Okay, sounds good. What would you want down as a down payment for option consideration?
Well, that's a good question. Haven't thought of that. Maybe, you know, I don't know what would be normal. 10%.
It's anywhere from 5 to 10% will be if that'll work for you. I mean, he's trying to get the ball rolling. Maybe I can send you an offer today and you look over it today and we can get back and do some business.
Boom. I like that, man. Perez, you're strong, man. You've been doing this for a minute, ain't you?
Oh, I got a good mentor and a couple guys that work with me, man. They help me out every Monday and Wednesday.
Wow, you doing great, dude. Yeah, doing real good. We got some more folks popping in here. Alex popped in. Alex is driving a truck. We got two truck drivers in here today. Wouldn't that be crazy if y'all was both on the same road?
I'm on 75 headed north.
He's on I-75. Where are you at, Alex? He's like, I'm trying to find a mute button.
On the 403 in Ontario.
Whoa! Okay. Wow! No
yeah,
kidding.
I'm in Georgia.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Man, you're out of the country, huh? Ontario?
Yeah, I'm out of the country. I'll be home in a few hours still.
Wow, that's great. Well, I'm glad
Ontario,
you
that's
guys
up there
are
in
here.
California, ain't it?
He said, "Did you hear that, Alex?"
I didn't hear him.
I say Ontario, that's up there around California, ain't it?
Oh yeah, just like it.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
shoot, I'm going back to the yard, so I'm tired of the road.
you know, I think technology has come a long way, and I'm happy for it because, you know, guys, I was talking to another fella like a couple weeks ago that's a trucker, and he says he does cold calling out of his truck all the time. Said he loves it. I was like, wow, that's cool. I said, you know, man, if you can get the headset and the signal, I don't see why not, man. He's like, well, he said that's what I've done. He said I've figured out a way to get, you know, where I've get good signal like most of the time. And then I've got a real nice headset that does that noise reduction stuff. He said I'll sit here on an auto dialer and I'll call one right after another and just talk to him, same conversation over and over. He said I'm just sitting here, man. I want to talk to somebody anyway. Might as well make it productive.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm
that
bored.
Is a neat idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking, Perez, your headset sounds great, man. You know, Alex, yours does too.
You don't hear no noise or anything?
Okay. No, not really, man. Not at all.
No background noise for me?
No. I mean, I can hear you coming through when you talk, and then, like, it sounds like when you're talking, there's a little something going on behind you, but not distracting at all, man. I mean, not bad.
Okay.
I don't. It sounded like maybe somebody's CB radio just sounded off, though. What was that?
Oh, that was the GPS.
Okay, so that picked up a little, but not bad. You could just tell them, oh, well, that's my wife or that's my assistant in the background.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, Joseph? It's good to see you. Hey, hit that unmute button for me, man.
Yeah, good. I said good to see you. How are you?
It's good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah. So we also have Tim John here. I know he was he had his camera on there for a minute. He'd probably be back. It's good to see him. Looking forward to role playing here today. I want to role play because role playing is how you get really good. I think everybody, just frankly,
are you recording?
I am live on YouTube in a private, so nobody can find it. Okay, so what that allows me to do is share the link with you guys after this is over, and only you guys can see it.
Yes, but do you record it?
Yeah, it'll be like on YouTube. I'm not recording it. You can though if you want. Let me see if I can allow you to record. Yeah, you want to record it? Go ahead. You want to record it? There you go. Woo. All right. Yep. Role playing's how you get good, I think, everybody. I practice with Claude. Okay. That's a big okay. Let me give everybody a gold nugget how I got as good as I am today. And I'm not saying I'm great, but I'm pretty good. And that is I scheduled on Claude's calendar. I don't know if everybody in here is in Claude's group or not. If you're not in Claude's, like if you're not paying Claude, in other words, if you're just participating in some of this group stuff and Claude's in it and whatever, like Mondays and Wednesdays, and you're in my group, then you don't have the ability to schedule one-on-ones with Claude. You'd have to pay for that, and you could,
Yeah.
but if you're on Claude's group or you're paying Claude, you have the ability, I think, probably on your plan to schedule one-on-ones. Here's what I recommend. This is what I did. I got on the phone with Claude or on the Zoom, and I said, Claude, here's what I want to do today. I want to role play the conversation with the homeowner from start to finish. Okay, it may take us the whole half hour to do this thing here, and I don't want you to let me do it wrong. Let's do it right, and I want to get it down all right in 30 minutes. And then I let the master Jedi work. Okay. And we just did the role play. Now, what I did after the fact is I took that 30-minute meeting that I had with him. Okay. Because I had a 30-minute session. That's what I ended up with. I don't know what you guys get now, but okay, great. So I then went and I've got a laptop and I've got a little video editor software that I downloaded for 20 or 30 bucks or something, or what. I think there's even, it's free on Mac. I think you can edit videos, because literally all I did is I went in and I cut out all the little sections of me talking. Okay. And all that remained was Claude doing the pitch from start to finish. Okay. Now I put that on repeat in the headset. Okay. That's how I got where I am today. All right. I'm just saying, I studied his words exactly until not only did I have them memorized, but I understood why he was saying them. Okay, that's huge. See, that's the power of role play, I believe. It's changed my life. So is it a bunch of bullshit to have to sit down and edit a video? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, it took an hour or two or whatever for me to figure out how to do it. Okay. It took me figuring out what software to use. Yes, it was a bunch of bullshit. But the end product for me was the exact words I need to make money. Okay.
So did you record Claude like answering to all of your like objections?
Yes. Arguing with him on topics, anything that came to mind for 30 minutes. I put him through the gauntlet. I was the homeowner. He is the investor. This is a lease purchase conversation. And for 30 minutes, I put him through the gauntlet. And then I spliced me out. So all I heard was his kick-ass responses and, boom, 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 right into my brain.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Yo, life-changing. Okay, yeah. That's the power of role play. Okay.
I'm going to do that with you both.
Great. I highly recommend it. Now, I have since gone and done the same with him on the coaching business. Okay. Claude, when I have a coaching student that's not a student, that it's a prospect that wants to maybe be a student of mine, books on my calendar, what do I say? From start to finish, go. Gauntlet, 30 minutes. And then at the end, I cut me out, and there I go. I got a professional package. Boom. Right? Like, I know exactly what to say. All right. Now, I don't know if Claude realizes that I'm manipulating our sessions in such a fashion, but the end product for me is worth 100 times the money that I paid Claude to have. Now, the problem I think a lot of us have as students is we didn't have that idea or whatever. Maybe we're busy, we're distracted. We don't really study like maybe we don't even really know how, But that's how I did it. Just really dive into it. And like I said, not just play it over and over till you have it memorized, but play it over until you understand why he's saying it. Okay. Now what will happen is now when you get on the phone with the homeowner, okay, or the prospect, whatever scenario you put Claude through the gauntlet for. Okay, it could be selling coins, it could be selling whatever. Put him through the gauntlet, cut it out, cut you out, make a track it's just him. What'll happen to you now is when you're on the phone with the prospect, when that prospect throws an objection at you, boom, immediately you'll hear in the back of your head Claude's voice say those words that kick that phrase's ass. And here you are off to the races now saying the same thing. It's like a charm, okay? So it's really almost it's practically magical, really. I mean, if there is a thing that is magic, this is probably closest thing to that. So that is how in the first month, and I kid you not, I met Claude 3 years ago, maybe close to 4 now. And in the first month, 10x'd, I 10x'd my income that first 30 days. That's how I did it. I cut his words out. Okay. I mean, and then put them together. Like I cut me out, which just left his words. And then that's how I 10x'd my business in the first 30 days. So, for all that can be said about anybody and their coaching business and whatever, Claude, if you really apply yourself, for me at least, he has been definitely worth the money. That's a testimonial, Claude, that I hope you cut out of this video, because that's straight from here to you. All right. Let's role play, guys. I promised some down payment role plays. We got Rick in the room. We got Joe. We got Tim, John, Alex. We got Perez. Good to see you guys. Man, we don't have any ladies in here today. We all run them off. Who ran off all the ladies? All right. I've got a tool I want to share here, and I'm just going to throw it in the chat room for you guys. If you're in my group, probably you've seen this already. And this is going to help us role play a little bit. We're going to kick off a little bit with a special kind of role play. I want to talk about, well, we can actually start with an open forum kind of role play. If you guys want to role play something in particular, I'm all about it. All right. And then I'm sharing here in the chat room what's called my down payment devastation plan. Okay, I have to do that right after I say that. No, not really. Down payment devastation plan, because I've learned that homeowners nowadays are pretty intelligent, Isn't that crazy? Like, is it weird to say that homeowners, not that homeowners were dumber like 10, 15, 20 years ago, but in a way they kind of were less educated on the topics? And so we are really now dealing with a homeowner that knows, a lot of times they know that a down payment is something that they are worthy of. Okay, so in other words, you may be marketing a message like this one here. Let me share this one here. Maybe this one looks familiar to somebody. Look at that. I'll take over house payments, walk away today, call, text Joe. I love it. That's beautiful, Joe. Yeah,
Who is
maybe you're.
this?
Go ahead, man.
Who is this Joe?
I don't know. I don't know. Good question. You have to rewind it and then rewind the tape and then dial the phone number on the sign. Hey, Joe. Yeah, so what do you do when somebody calls your marketing or somebody responds to your text or something favorably? A positive response. And then from there, you get to talking with them and they are open to the idea of a lease and then purchase. And here's how, let me give a little tip here. And I know this is so subtle, everybody, but please understand there's power in what I'm about to say. When you rephrase that and stop saying it just like, oh, well, we'll lease it for 12 months and then buy, start saying it like this. We want to lease it for 12 to 8 because we want to buy within 12 we want to buy within 12 to 18 months. See, doesn't that sound so much better than we're going to rent for 12 to 18 months and then buy? Or we're going to buy within 12 to 18 months. Doesn't it sound like there's a possibility I could be a little quicker, All right, I'm just saying little subtle things like that kind of matter. But most of these homeowners know they have a down payment coming in some way or another. And then sometimes homeowners are so savvy that they want to ask you how you make money. And then when you say, well, I'll be collecting some money from the tenant buyer that I'll be putting in there, they'll say, well, how much money? Right. And then you're like, oh no, what do I say? Because I'm going to be asking for 25K on this one. Yeah, Mr. Homeowner, I'm planning on making 25K on your property. Yeah. Okay. How do you see? And then he's going to say, well, I'm not going to be getting any money down and you're going to be making 25K in cash. So like these homeowners, they're really kind of smart nowadays. So like you have to be prepared to talk about down payment. Okay. Because it's going to come up more often now than not. And let me say for the record, and there's been other coaches along the way in history that have taught that you are looking for a homeowner that requires nothing down. Okay. Well, I'm here to tell you those probably still exist, but they're very few and far in between. All right. Because most homeowners want something down now. All right. So you got to be prepared to talk about that or you won't have any deals. But here's, I'll just say this too. If you can master the down payment negotiation, you can get a lot of deals. Okay. Now that might require you to be a little bit more intuitive on your exit strategies. Like what kind of down payments can I be okay with? Okay. All right. Does that make sense, everybody? What kind of down payments can I be okay with? My general rule is I won't give a homeowner more than, I don't like to give them more than 2-3%. I really don't like to give them anything, but I'll give them 2-3%. But then if they want 5, that's a stretch and I can't hardly do it, but I'll try. Okay. Beyond 5, I'm out. Okay. Usually 5% of the purchase price. All right. That's for a lease purchase deal. But now if I'm doing some kind of seller finance deal, right? Maybe I'm doing an owner finance deal with the homeowner. Maybe it's a subject to. Okay. Okay. Now let's say, for example, a subject to the house is worth 250,000. Let's just do a quick, can we do a quick case study here real quick? 250, let's say the house is worth 250,000. It'll cash flow for, let's say 25, it doesn't cash flow for 2,500, but the rent is 2,500 a month. Okay. All right. You're going to be cash flowing 500 a month. Strong 500. Okay. The end buyer will be cash flowing 500 on this $250,000 property. $2,500 a month rent. So he's also going to be taking over the property subject to, and the existing mortgage is let's say it's 210. Okay. And that seller wants 40,000 in equity and cash down payment. Are you guys following me? The house is worth 250,000. He has a mortgage on it for 210. You're going to take it over subject to. He wants his 40K in down payment. Is 40K more than 5%?
Definitely.
Oh, definitely, yes. Okay, but this is not a lease purchase. This is a subject to. So would it be something that I would walk away from just because it's more than 5%? Or would I still be open to a deal with a down payment like that? What do you guys think?
Yeah, if we can negotiate down payment.
Yeah, you might be able to negotiate this down payment, but my point is too is that I would probably contract this deal, everybody. I would probably contract this deal and make it assignable. Okay. And then I would assign this over to somebody over in Pace Morby's group or something. Okay. In their Facebook group. I would post it over there because there's people over there that are looking to buy cash flow. Would somebody, in other words, what you're asking an investor to do is, hey, for 40, let's say you put 10,000 on for yourself. For $40,000 down plus your 10, for 50,000, would you buy $500 a month in cash flow for the next 20 years? Or whatever it is. Would you buy $500 a month in cash flow for 50 grand? And then some equity to boot as time goes by? Okay, yeah, I mean, it's not that bad of a deal. There's going to be investors that are like, well, you know, hey, that's like 10%.
It's 12.
That's 1% a month, right?
Yes.
So, like, that's a pretty dang good return, 1% a month. Yeah. So that's 12 a year, right? If we're adding one and one and one and one, right? Yeah. So yeah. So it's hard to say there's a solid rule, like, no, never more than 5%, because we just talked about a scenario where I would totally do more than 5%. So interesting. You got to just get a little bit more into the details with your exit strategies a little, and who might be interested in buying this property from you. If you're looking for a retail buyer, okay, like that's going to move in like a lease option, like you're going to do a lease option, okay, then maybe you couldn't do that 40,000. Okay, probably would have a hard time on that property with a $40,000 down payment on a lease purchase. Okay. All right. So in that same scenario, does anybody have any questions on that right now before we jump into this actual role play about the down payment? Me and Perez already role played a little. We warmed up. You guys, some of you missed that, but Perez is on it, man. He's pretty good. Like I was kind of a jackass. Like I was a hard homeowner. You know what I mean? Like I was the homeowner that had some of the short, smart ass answers. You know how some of them can be. I did not throw Perez off his game. So he did good. We got Uncle Claude in the room here. I don't know if he wants to speak up, but we're talking about down payment. Let's role play down payment. Let's assume the homeowner wants to tell us on the phone that he wants $10,000 down. And we know that that's a little stiff for this lease purchase deal. So we're going to have to get him down. What do we say? Anybody want to role play? Anybody want to just pick up a role play? I'll be the homeowner. You be the investor. And I'm saying right now on the phone, yeah, Mr. Investor, I'm going to need some money down to, I think I'm open to this, but I'm going to need a little money down just some skin in the game. So maybe like 10K. Who wants to pick up? Okay. Nobody has anything? All right. What about Mr. Homeowner? Okay, go ahead, Perez.
Thank you. Say 10K down. That's a little steep. That's the would that be the least you could take 10K? Could we do any lower and kind of close today? I can write up the contract and have the paperwork sent to you. I say no later than 5 o'clock.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good, Perez. I like that. Anybody else with any other ideas? Uncle Claude, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No problem. I'm juggling phone calls and stuff here, listening to you. What am I doing again? Negotiating the 10K down?
Yeah, you want to chime in
Hey,
yeah,
Mr. Chamness, I want to thank you for your time. I really like your property. I want to do this deal today. What's the least you'll take? I know you want a down payment. What's the least you'll take to do a deal right now?
Well, I really would like to do that. I mean, you can't do that 10K.
It's not that I can't do it. It's about leverage. I'm in the middle of other deals, other investments, and things like that. I owe Joseph money. I owe Tim John Wilkinson money. Things like that. Let me ask you this: are we doing a lease purchase or
yes, lease purchase.
We're doing a 3-year lease purchase. Suppose I gave you $3,333 today, and we split it up every 12 months. You get another $3,333 payment. You still get your 10K. You just get it over a period of time. You get payments on time. You get a peace of mind because I'm ready to do a deal right now. And if God bless you, you want to say no, but I'm ready. If you could accept those terms, I'll give you your price. I'll give you your 10K if you can be flexible on your terms. Can we do business or should I leave you alone?
That's great. That's great. Okay, good. Let's try again with someone else.
You didn't say yes.
No, well, I meant yes. I just thought that was such a superb role play. I was like, you just slam dunked it right there.
My theory is ask for everything, expect nothing, and have the guts to see what happens. What's the worst you could say to me?
Right. No, would be the worst thing I could say, and that's not gonna. I can't eat you. That's what I like to say about. I like to remind people, hey, these homeowners, they can't eat you. It's just illegal. So don't be too afraid of them. I think that was a superb role play. I want to say here that I believe that sometimes folks struggle with the down payment negotiation because they haven't opened their minds to all of the possibilities that are available for a down payment negotiation. Okay?
It's called creative real estate, isn't it?
Yes. So
yes.
In other words, just because they want 10K doesn't mean that you have to say, okay, 10K cash right now. It could be 10K cash in 2 weeks. It could be 10K cash the day the keys are exchanged, the day the tenant buyer moves in other words. It could be 10K, which is 5K now, like Uncle Claude was saying, and then payments every month for X amount of months. Or
how about equity?
It could be equity.
How about I had somebody once give me a golden eagle coin. It was worth a fortune as security. Yeah. Okay, and I hated that he paid me off, so I had to give it back to him. I had somebody once give me a Remington. Things like that. A piece of artwork. You can, I had one guy. He needed money real bad, and he sold his Harley Davidson.
Right. Wow. Yeah, you could get a timeshare, maybe like you could get like a weekend and your favorite resort location. It could be a lot of different things. It really just I think it'll do you good as an investor if you're really serious about this business to maybe even take a few minutes and jot down some creative things that it could be in your negotiations beforehand, so that you're not trying to think up something totally brand new off the fly, off the cuff. In other words, right in midstream conversation, like you've actually thought about, oh well, hey, I could divide a down payment down into payments, or I could split it into two payments, or I could just say, okay, well, sir, if I put that in the agreement that you get 10K the day that the tenant buyer moves in, before you exchange keys with them, is that something you're comfortable enough to move forward with? That right there is a plan that I had in mind before. Because what do we say if the down payment amount that he's asking for is okay? What if he's asking for 10K, but the property is worth $650,000? Am I okay with that? If I can't get him down, I'm probably still going to do this deal, because I'm looking for a buyer that's got maybe $35,000 down, or maybe more. So
What
10K.
What about the leverage to control a $650,000 property for 10,000?
Right.
I mean, think about the leverage there. I mean, that's phenomenal. You're controlling over $500,000 property for $10,000. Man, if you can't get a couple credit cards together, or a couple investors who, and sell that deal. Hey, look, we got this beautiful home. All I need is 10K, and it's going to make X amount of dollars per month. Or when we sell it, we're gonna make $100,000. I mean, what are you doing in this business if you can't be creative enough?
Right. Exactly. To control a property of that value for 10K. And here's where it could even be better. What if your payment to the homeowner on that $650,000 property is $3,000 a month, but you're able to collect from a tenant buyer $3,600 a month? You just created for yourself $600 a month in cash flow on a deal that you bought for 10K. It's ridiculous.
Should you be in this business if you can't raise 10K on a property that's worth $500,000 plus?
That's a good question.
Honey, can I sell your wedding ring? I got this great deal from Justin. I'm going to hock my wife's wedding ring. There you go.
That's crazy. That's a good woman that'll let you do that too. No,
I'm not going to tell her. I'm not going to tell her.
That's funny.
Claude, have you seen my ring? No, honey, I don't know where it went. I gave it to Justin.
That's great. I do a lot of assignments. So I look at down payment like it's not really my responsibility. Because I'm assigning this to the tenant buyer with the homeowner's permission. So I just need to make sure the amount that I can collect from a tenant buyer is more than the amount I have to pay to the seller, because I'm going to be keeping the difference as profits. Does that make sense, everybody? All right. So if he's wanting 10K on a $650,000 property and I'm going to assign this, then I know that, hey, I'm looking for a tenant buyer that's got 20, 30, 40,000 down. This 10K is not a problem for me. Sir, if I put the 10K is due to you the day the tenant buyer moves in, now all I'm concerned about is getting the timing right, really. Like I'm okay with the 10K as long as it's not due when I sign it. It's due before we get the keys on the day we move in. Okay, right? So that's the timing part. Now, that seems to work for me. Now, there's a couple defaults, everybody, that I go to, and we can role play this. I usually default to question number 1, which is, Mr. Homeowner, is there anything more reasonable we can talk about? Because the amount of down payment you're asking for, although while we agree that you deserve some down payment, it is more than we were expecting. Is there anything more reasonable? And see if you can get them to drop, because a lot of times I've had them drop half. I've had them go from 10K to 5K, that one question. All right. So you got to have that one preloaded in your sales gun. All right. because when the down payment showdown comes around, you know, you got to be ready to fire off at least. Is there anything more reasonable we can talk about? Because that one, that there is more than we were expecting. Okay. So a lot of times when I ask that, you know, they'll either come down or they'll respond like this. They'll say, hey, you know, Justin, how much were you expecting? How much did you have to put down? How much did you want to put down? They'll ask me. And usually I'll respond like this. You want us to buy as quickly as possible, correct, Mr. Homeowner? Okay. It's certain that our lender will require cash at closing, okay? And maybe even another down payment at closing. And so any money we give to you up front is money we don't have for closing. So we'd like to make an arrangement with you for a lower down payment so that that will help us get to the closing table quicker, which is truly what you want us to do also. Isn't that correct, sir? Okay, I'll just put that back on him like that. All right, and see what happens. You guys want to role play that and see how it works? All right, nobody wants to? Y'all don't even like it? All right, who wants to be the homeowner? And I'll
play the homeowner.
I'll be the caller, and then we'll roll reverse. All right, Alex, cool. Let's do it, man. You're the homeowner. I want you to tell me you want $10,000 down.
All right, Justin, I like all this lease purchase stuff. It sounds good to me, but I'm going to need $10,000 down.
All right. So, you know, Alex, that's a pretty exact number. Watch, I'm going to deviate from what I was talking about. Alex, that's a pretty exact number. 10,000. Why is that number so important to you? And you know, is there something that I'm missing here that I should understand? You see what I'm doing there is I'm pulling out more information from him. Okay, go ahead, Alex.
Well, I want to put a down payment on a new vehicle.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, well, is there anything more reasonable we can talk about? Just honestly, Alex, that 10K is a little more than we were expecting.
I really like you, Justin. Well, how's about 8,000?
Well, okay, that's a little better. But you do. Let me make sure, Alex, you want us to buy the house as quickly as possible, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so it's pretty certain that our lender is going to want us to pay for cash at closing for our closing costs. We might even end up paying for your closing costs too, sir. I'm not sure. We haven't talked about that, and that's going to be cash. And then it's likely our lender will end up wanting us to have a down payment in cash as well at that time. So any money we give to you up front will be money we don't have for closing. So it will take us longer to get to closing. So what I'm suggesting here, sir, is if you could be more reasonable on the down payment up front to you, it will help us close quicker, probably. So is that something we can talk about, or maybe not? Are you really stuck on that 8K, or is there something more reasonable?
Well, Justin, what's comfortable to you?
Well, you know, I agree, sir, that you deserve skin in the game here, and I totally want you to have that. So if I were able to put here in the agreement 5K the day the tenant buyer moves in, before you exchange keys, you know, give them the keys, and you've approved everything, that day you get that 5K. If I put that in the agreement, is that something you're comfortable enough to move forward with, or maybe not?
Well, 5K is decent, but I mean, 6,500 sounds better. That's
okay. You're driving a hard bargain, man. Okay.
I'm prepared to move forward at 6,500, Justin.
Okay, so if I put 6,500 down here, we got a deal, Alex?
We have a deal, Justin.
Okay, great. Boom. See, that's a whole lot better than 10K though, right? And that's pretty typical. Great job, Alex. Pretty typical of what it sounds like when I do a down payment negotiation with a homeowner, other than usually, usually they're either really stuck on some high number and they won't come down, or they come down and they don't really fight quite as hard or as long as Alex did. Alex had a little more fight in him than most, I find. Okay, so in other words, he probably would have dropped to 8, and then he probably would have been like, well, what do you need? And I'd have said 5. He'd have been like, all right, well, he might have said, most homeowners maybe wouldn't have, but some might say, well, you wouldn't do 6,500. You couldn't do that, could you? You know, like they're just trying to squeeze me just for a little bit more, you know. That's good. Very good role play. Good role play. And I think that's very it mimics the real world a lot there. So let's good job, Alex. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. And hopefully you guys, you know,
No
picked
problem.
up a little nugget there or something out of that. Let's switch around role plays here. Who else wants to role play today? Anybody wants to jump in here, and let's do a little down payment negotiation role plays. Got about 10 minutes left, so we got time for a couple more role plays. Anybody else?
I can go.
All right.
I'll go.
Okay, Tim John wants to role play, and anybody else want to role play with Tim John? I'll step aside here and let you guys joust. Let the joust begin. All right, so let's throw a little curve up in here for Tim John, and is Perez going to be the homeowner? Is that what I'm picking up?
Yeah, I'd be the homeowner.
Okay, great. So Tim John, when Perez throws the big down payment at you, I'm going to want you to do something creative and offer him a solution that meets the need, but is not just like cash right now. Give us a creative solution. Can you do that, Tim John? You got something in mind?
Sure.
Okay, great. All right, great. So in other words, split the down payment, divide the down payment, make the down payment payments, delay the down payment. Let's do something but give him cash. All right. Perez, are you ready, sir?
I'm ready.
Tim John, are you ready?
Yeah.
Joust. All right. Go for it.
Hey, that Mr. Tim John, everything look good with the lease option, man, but I think I'm gonna need about 10K down today, man, for us to get the ball rolling.
Who am I talking to, Perez? Oh, okay, Perez. That's a little bit steep for what we typically do. Is that the best you can do right now?
I probably can do about 7,500, man, if just to make things a little lighter on you. But I really wanted 10, but I can do 7,500.
He just made $2,500 in 10 seconds.
Did you say 7,000 or 7,500? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
7,500.
7,500. Oh man. Suppose I was able to give you the 7,500, but we broke that up over the next few months. Is that let's just say we did the 7,500, but we did 1,500 a month for the next 6 months or 4 months, something like that.
1,500, okay. What would you be able to put on? What could I get today? Could I get like 5 or something today? Then we can work the other 25 out.
Okay, let me pause here, because what I think happened is the this happens to all of us. But when we get to the end of a phrase, if we don't use what's called a tie down, then we lose control of the conversation a little. So what happened here is Tim John lost a little bit of control to Perez in the conversation because of that everybody's got that dreaded lull. Everybody knows that 2-3 second pause there where there wasn't a question, and it was kind of like a proposal, but like we're just kind of kicking it around. Okay, you got to remember you're a sales professional, so tie everything down with a question. So when Tim John said, "Hey, if we break it down like this and such," um, I would recommend Tim John also throwing in a time frame, saying, on this and such a day we'll do this. Okay, make it not today, make it sometime. Preempt further objections from Perez, but then at the end of that, tie it down with something like this. So Perez, if I were to put that in the agreement, is that something you're comfortable enough with to move forward with me, or maybe not? Okay, don't leave it so open-ended and loose. Tie it up and bring it back to the agreement. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's try again. Is that okay? Let's try again. Because
Yeah,
I enjoyed that. You guys did good. Good job, Tim John. Okay. Let's start over. Perez, you be the homeowner, and let's do it again.
Start from fresh. Start from the
Yeah,
beginning?
let's do it again because you did great, brother. I want to hear it. I want to hear it again. Is that cool?
I'm good.
All right.
Okay. All right, Mr. Tim John. I like the lease options thing, man, but I think I'm gonna need 10,000 down, man, so we can get the ball rolling today.
Oh man. So Perez, the 10,000 sounds like a very specific number. I'm curious as to what specifically you have in mind for that money.
Yes, I was trying to go on and set up so I can go and start moving and get some moving arrangements, man, and go on and get up out the house, man. I think 10K will get me started.
Okay. All right. Well, 10,000 is a bit steep for us. Typically, we want to be, in the 2 to 3% of purchase price range. Is that the best you can do right now?
Right. I like it. I like it. I think you kind of broke up there. Your signal's kind of weak, I guess, right there, Perez. You must be in a valley. All right, no problem. You guys are doing good.
I'm not hearing you.
Signal. But
There you go.
can you hear me?
Hey, there we go.
Okay. Yeah, 7,500. I can do 75, man, if that'll help out.
Okay, 75 is definitely better. Suppose I put in the contract that I can do 7,500, but we'll pay that over the course of the next 6 months at like $1,200 a month, and we start that process right away. Is that something you'd be comfortable moving with today?
Yes, it'll be something I can do today. Could I get like 5 today and we can work the rest of it out? The other 2,500.
Here, suppose this. What if we just were to come to the table and pay for the actual moving expenses? So we come in, we find a mover, we'll pay exactly what the mover is ready to charge us to move you forward. And then whatever the balance is after you've relocated, we can work that out. Does that work for you?
Oh man, that sounds good. If you're gonna pay for the move, then we'll just work the rest out later. That'll be just fine, man. Let's send the paperwork over. I'll look it over, and if it looks good, man, I'll sign it. We can get going.
Okay,
that's interesting. Good. Okay, good job, guys. Good job. That was an interesting way to be creative there, Tim John. I like that.
Yeah, he was gonna pay for the move.
Yeah, see, that's something that we hadn't talked about. But again, how did you think that up? Did you just come up with that on the fly, Tim John, or like is that something you had was that a bullet in your gun that you had preloaded, or like what?
It's just something we've done in the past in working with the homeowners, and we'll put in the contract that we'll pay for closing costs. Moving expenses up to the $10,000.
Okay. Now, how did you know that was a silver bullet for him? Like, every sale has, I believe, every sale's got six good benefits. That the reasons why your prospect should buy, but that seventh one is a silver bullet. And that's what you had in that conversation. You had that silver bullet, And when you brought it out and you fired that one, it was the deal. You got it. Boom. How did you know that the moving company was the silver bullet?
I didn't, but he specifically mentioned the move was the reason why he needed the 10 grand.
You
And
go.
typically, at least in my experience, the move is not going to be 10 grand to get to get the, you know, now granted, there's a lot that I didn't say, which is we're not going to pay for a moving company to come in and pack everything in paper kind of thing, but we will pay for the U-Haul. We'll pay for those things that the typical homeowner would have to put out of their pocket to move.
Right.
And
would you pay for a dumpster? You know, if he had a lot of, let's say he went further into detail and was like, hey, you know, I've got a lot of items here that I don't want to move. There's a whole house full of old furniture that was my grandma's before she died, and it probably just needs to be tossed. And I don't want to do anything with this. What do I do with this? What would you do, Tim John?
Probably we would pay that, but I wouldn't even have considered that. Like, you just brought something up for me, which is we would typically make our original offer would have been that we would have taken the house as is. Whatever you don't want, leave behind, and we'll deal with it.
Okay.
But we're going to have, but we typically do rehab. So we would have a dumpster anyway.
Yeah.
So that's all part of it. But being able to wrap the cost of that dumpster into his 10,000 down payment, the way that you just did, is actually a little bit powerful. You know what I mean? If I said that I'll take care of all your stuff and I'll even pay for a dumpster for you, included in the plan. It just made a little bit more room for me.
Yeah. Order a dumpster for $325, have it dropped in his driveway for 2 weeks, let him throw shit in it. You know, you've really saved a lot of money. You've hired free labor. He's cleaning up a house that you now control. It's really a win-win for everybody. This creative stuff is great, and it's really what people need. But the point I want to make here is that Tim John knew that because he listened to the prospect when the prospect was talking, right? And he was like, okay, now he took a little time. He was like, that 10,000 is an exact figure. What is it about the 10K? What do you have in mind for that money? He heard, and then he listened. And when Perez said, well, I got to move, I got this, that, the other thing, he understood, Tim John, okay, the move is the most scary and important financial part of this deal for this Perez. And if I can get that solved, he's got every reason in the world to say yes to me today. Is that guts?
That's good.
That's guts, man. Wow. Good job, Tim John. Great job, bro.
Good job, Sam.
Yeah. Asking the right questions, not rushing to response, okay? Because I think a lot of times when we get a question from a homeowner, we're not sure what the answer is, like a down payment question. We want to rush to a response when the gutsy thing to do is to slow down and to say, you know, Mr. Homeowner, why are you wanting $10,000 down now all of a sudden? I thought we had a deal, but then now you want 10K. Is there something I'm not understanding about your situation? Can you explain to me? And get what are you really getting from the guy? The why. Right? The why he should do business with you today. And then Tim John used that against the homeowner to create a solution that met that exact problem, and he closed the deal. Boom. Couldn't be better. Textbook. All right.
Like it.
Thank you.
What do you think, Uncle Claude?
I love what you're saying. You know, sometimes you said it perfectly. Sometimes, you know, my 3 favorite words I say to people, I don't know. That's a good question. You must have brought that up for a reason. Why, you know, I feel like I'm running with the ball and you're moving the goalposts, sir. You're on page 87 and I'm still at the table of contents here. Help me out. Anything you can say that gives you a little bit more time. You know, sometimes, you know, if you just had those few other seconds to collect, you know, just to give yourself that little thinking moment.
Right.
You know, we think we need to have all the answers to all the questions, But what we're really doing is losing control, aren't we?
I think, is it safe to say that guts is really a lot of getting the answers that you need to say, but getting them first from the homeowner or the prospect themselves? Like,
while keeping it interesting, right? While keeping it electrical.
Yeah.
You know that great conversation where you both want to talk and you're waiting for someone else to breathe so you can jump in and all that? You know, those are the conversations I love.
Are you trying to say something, man?
No, I'm guilty. I'm just telling my own truth because I know I'm guilty of that.
Hey, Uncle Claude, you're going to have some guys hop on your calendar and want to do a 30-minute one-on-one session. And what they're going to do is they're going to ask you they're going to ask you to be the investor, and they're going to be the homeowner or the prospect, and they're going to record that 30-minute session. They want to put you through the gauntlet, and then they're going to take that session and cut themselves out and listen to your words and teach themselves how the master responds. Is that cool?
Anytime. I answer my own phone. I think the key to success in this business is doing the role plays that you did so excellently today, and actually speaking to a few people and using the techniques you were teaching today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
All the marketing and all this other stuff it's good, but why are we in business, man?
To make money today.
Yeah. Amen, brother. Amen. And how do we do that? Yeah. What is the one thing we can do today to get a deal, to make money, to go to the bank, or the prelude to a deal?
You have good phone.
Yeah. Someone told me yesterday, I got to stop doing this because millennials don't do this anymore. They do this.
I totally do that thing, man. I'm all about it.
I've been doing this for years, and no, they don't know it. They don't know. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah, they do this, huh? That's weird. I couldn't even see myself doing this. Hello?
How about the old one?
That's what Joe does. Joe does the rotary dial.
Yeah.
Hey, it worked.
Totally worked.
Who remembers what a party line was? Okay, yeah. A party line. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
I even remember who remembers their phone number from when they were a kid?
Oh yeah, I do. I totally remember. I get drunk every weekend and call it and just harass the shit out of those people.
Rain 70402. Oh God.
All right. Look.
Who remembers postal service before zip codes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know what you mean. What is that? What is it before zip codes?
Yeah.
How is that? That was a long time ago, huh?
Many moons ago.
I remember when you had to pay for long distance telephone.
Yep.
I had to pay phone.
That's why you always had to carry change in your pocket to use those. When's the last time you saw a phone booth, by the way?
Yeah, a little pay phone. Yeah. I don't even make them no more.
What does Superman do today? Remember Superman? He used to change his clothes in the phone booth, remember?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. What would he do? He'd never be able to change clothes.
Yeah. I remember a time when people didn't bring their dogs to the airport.
Oh yeah.
Really? Huh.
Or the supermarket.
Oh yeah, I don't get that. I thought that was a policy, a community-wide thing.
Come to California, man. They put them they put them in the cart where you put your children, with the leaky diaper. You put the dog next to.
Have you guys seen these coffee with cats? Like they're little coffee shops and there's cats around and they're just like all on the tables and stuff. I'm like, dude, I would not want all that hair in my coffee.
On your clothing. Ew, I'm allergic to cats too. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
they make me get out my boohoo tissues, man. I start tearing up and everything.
Wow. You like dogs though? You got a little dog, don't you, Claude?
No, I have 5 Chihuahuas. No, I don't have any dogs. I have something better. I have friends with dogs.
I thought you had a little dog you got.
Nope. It's the same thing with boats. Okay. I don't want to own a boat, but I have a lot of friends with boats.
I see. Yeah. Well, you know, there's a lot of truth in that, man. I mean, I had a boat once and it never made me any money.
No. What's the definition? Something that occupies a space on water that you throw money into?
Right, exactly. That's about all you can do. All right. Well, you guys have a blessed rest of your day. Enjoy it. Don't work too hard, but do what you need to do guts wise to make money. All right. And don't be afraid to be creative and step out of the box and offer things. Just because they say they want it, don't mean they gotta get it. All right. Change it up on them and put it back on them in a different way. All right. Anybody got anything last they want to say here at last before we go? All right, guys. I'll see you later. Have a good one. Thank you, Uncle Claude. We'll see you guys.
Hey,
Thanks,
thank you.
everybody.
Great session,
everybody.
Justin.
See y'all later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.